In the heart of a bustling city, where skyscrapers touched the clouds and luxury cars zoomed by, there sat an old beggar on a worn-out blanket. His clothes were ragged, his hair matted, and his eyes, though tired, held an unshakable glimmer of hope. For years, he had been a fixture on the corner of Maple Street, barely noticed by passers-by, save for the occasional pity or spare coin tossed his way. His name was Raj, though few knew it. He had once been an ambitious young man, full of dreams and energy, but life had taken its toll. The death of his wife and the loss of his job had spiraled him into a world of hardship. He had no family, no friends left, just the street as his home. Yet, Raj had learned to survive with a smile, to make the best of the little he had. One chilly afternoon, as he sat on his corner with his tattered cardboard sign, "Anything helps," a young woman approached him. She was well dressed, her heels clicking on the pavement, and her eyes focused on something far beyond Raj. But then, she stopped. Her gaze fell on the beggar, and something in her expression softened. "Excuse me, sir," she said, pulling out a small notebook and pen. "Would you mind if I ask you a few questions?" Raj was surprised, but nodded. He had grown used to people ignoring him, so the rare encounter was welcome. "Tell me, what's the one thing you wish you could change in your life?" she asked, her voice curious but kind. Raj looked at her for a moment, considering the question. He had dreamed of many things, of love, wealth, and success, but what stood out was the desire for something simpler. Dignity. "I wish I could be remembered for something more than just a beggar," he said quietly. The woman wrote down his words, then looked up. "What if I could help make that happen?" Raj blinked. "What do you mean?" She smiled slightly. "I'm a social media influencer. I've been looking for a story. A real, raw story. One that could inspire people. What if your journey could be the one that changes lives?" Raj, skeptical but intrigued, agreed to meet with her the next day. What followed was a whirlwind of social media posts, videos, and campaigns. The woman, whose name was Sarah, shared Raj's story with her millions of followers, depicting his journey from a once successful man to a beggar on the streets. She highlighted his resilience, his kindness, and his unwavering hope. The story resonated. People saw Raj not as a symbol of failure, but as a testament to the power of human spirit. Donations poured in, and his story spread far and wide. But Sarah didn't stop there. She used the funds to set up a foundation in Raj's name, focusing on helping the homeless and those who had fallen through the cracks of society. As Raj's foundation grew, so did his influence. He was invited to speak at conferences, to appear on television shows, and to work with organizations that aim to reduce poverty. His story became a symbol of transformation. A man who had gone from the streets to the boardrooms, from being overlooked to being celebrated. Years passed, and Raj's foundation had turned into a global movement. His name was now synonymous with generosity and hope. From the man who had once begged for spare change, Raj became a billionaire, not just in wealth, but in influence, and in the countless lives he had touched. But he never forgot his humble beginnings. Every year, on the anniversary of his transformation, Raj would return to the same corner of Maple Street, not to beg, but to remind himself, and the world, that it only takes one person, one story, to change everything. And thus, the beggar had truly become a billionaire, not in riches, but in purpose, love, and the difference he made.